Our story is a little bit different. I'm hoping that this presentation will help districts that are interested in ramping up the integration of technology where it may not currently exist. I'm Rick Rubino, superintendent of the Gridley Unified School District. We're a K-12 district with about 2,100 students, 5 schools, 2 elementaries, middle school, comprehensive high school, and an alternative high school. I'd like to start with this quote from William Pollard. Without change, there's no innovation, creativity, or incentive for improvement. Those who initiate change will have a better opportunity to manage the change that is inevitable. I arrived as a new superintendent in Gridley in 2012. I came from a district in the Bay Area that was about 2/3 towards one-to-one devices. This is what it seemed like in most classes in Gridley when I arrived. Now there was some technology, but it was old and it was hardly being used. So the first thing that we did was we had to establish what we considered to be the classroom standard for technology for each teacher. We wanted each teacher to have a high-speed, internet-connected computer, projector, screen, and document camera for delivering lessons and content for the myriad of resources available online. When I arrived in the district, teachers did not have teaching stations that were technology-based. Then we did a device inventory. Our technology team went classroom to classroom, and we conducted the survey. If you know anything about Dell devices, you'll notice these 4610s that most of the teachers had. They're about 10 years old. These 4100s that were the few student computers that may have existed in the classroom, those are the old beige boxes. And they were used primarily for accelerated reader in some rooms, but mostly they were covered or gathering dust. Teachers were using their computers on their desktop for email if they actually knew how to use email. The next thing that we had to do was we had to ramp up our staffing to support technology. The first thing was to make sure that we had strong instructional leaders. We took advantage of opportunities that we've had over the last 3 years. And actually, of the 10 administrators in the district, only 2 were there before 2012. 8 new administrators who were like-minded, technology-oriented, helped to build this technology throughout the district in a matter of really less than 3 years. I went to the board and said, we really need a director of technology and curriculum, and instructional coaches, 1 for elementary and 1 for secondary. We also realized that with the technology that we were bringing into the district, we were going to need more technicians to support the devices. And then, of course, you start bringing devices in for teachers and students, teacher workstations to deliver instruction. You have to provide the professional development. During the summer of 2014, we put a proposal out to our teachers. We said, if you take 5 Google for Education courses and exams and pass them by the time that school starts up in August, we will give you a $1,500 stipend and a Nexus 7 tablet with a Chromecast device that you can use for teaching and delivering instruction in your classroom. So we had teachers take the Gmail, the Docs, Drive, Calendar, Chromebooks, and sites. We had 80 of our 110 teachers took those courses over the summer. And we heard stories about teachers gathering at Woodstock's Pizza in Chico to work together, to collaborate, to help each other to pass those tests. This is the Nexus 7 and the Chromecast. If you're not familiar with it, it operates like an iPad and Apple TV. The teacher can hold the tablet and walk around the classroom, get better proximity with students, and deliver all kinds of content, slide presentations, PowerPoints, TED Talks, Netflix, all at the touch of a finger. We started to think about what devices we needed for our classrooms, and we did a lot of research, and in the early fall of 2013, we started purchasing Chromebooks. We decided that iPads for our K-1 students and Chromebooks for grades 2 through 12 was the way for us to go. And if you'll think back on that time, people were still trying to figure out what devices they were going to buy for the SBAC test. And we talked to a lot of people, went to a lot of workshops, looked at a lot of devices, and decided on the Chromebooks. And we're glad that we did, because with the Google for Education and Google Classroom, the things that we're doing with students in the classroom with Chromebooks is just amazing. Here's some examples of what you see in the classrooms in Gridley with students just using Chromebooks to do projects, to learn about things, to make things. Here's an example from one of our schools of technology in action in Gridley USD.
We are not just teaching technology here. We are using technology to teach all other content areas. Instead of the old model where students are passively listening, Wilson students are creating, doing, and driving their own learning. We have students creating Google slide presentations, researching topics they are passionate about during Genius Hour, collaborating simultaneously, narrating their own videos, creating storyboards, and most of all, enjoying every minute.
I love using technology this year. We have been creating Google Docs and slides on what we are learning. I can put my writing and images into the slides. I love sharing it and presenting it to other classes. I even asked them questions afterwards to see how well they were listening. We have gone on virtual field trips, and I have a virtual teacher showing us how to type on home row. I also love playing math games because I am learning at the same time.
We have been finding ways to get live, instant student feedback. I use QR codes to quickly assess what students have learned and to determine if reteaching is needed or who's ready to move on. Assessing really doesn't get more fun than this. Good job, you guys. Excellent job. Put your clickers down.
All classrooms have access to Chromebooks and iPads. Many classrooms will have one-to-one Chromebooks next year, and all classrooms will be one-to-one in the next 3 years. Wilson Elementary is well connected. Many classrooms have Twitter accounts, websites, and blogs where parents can see what's happening throughout the day. Teachers are also using Twitter to connect and network with other educators around the world. We are attending national conferences and trainings and bringing the knowledge back to our staff for professional development.
We have jumped full force into the Common Core state standards this year. Common Core definitely raised the bar, and we have raised our expectations. Our students are working harder than ever before, and we are thrilled with the results. My second grade students aren't just using a procedure to solve a math problem anymore. Now they attack problems using multiple strategies. They can explain their thinking, work collaboratively, and share with their classmates. They are ferocious math detectives. At Wilson, 21st century learning means expanding beyond math and reading into digital literacy, global citizenship, teamwork, problem solving, and leadership. We are working hard to give our students the foundational skills to prepare them for the technology jobs that have not even been created yet.
That's Wilson Elementary School, as you heard, and they are our 2-5 school. We have a K-1 school, a 2-5 school, a 6-8 middle school, and a 9-12 high school. The next thing that we needed to do was to build our wireless infrastructure. So we used our E-rate dollars and other funding that we had set aside to make sure that all schools have Wi-Fi campus-wide. Someone once said, one of the best ways to learn how to do something is to go watch somebody else do it. So we took a couple of van loads of teachers back to my former district in the Bay Area, where teachers had been using the Chromebooks for a couple of years and were fully one-to-one devices with students. And our teachers came away from that visit just so excited about what they could do with the devices that they now had, the technology that they had available to them in the classrooms. And they were able to come back to the classrooms in Gridley and duplicate what they had seen in this very advanced Bay Area district. At our high school, we wrote a CTE Career Pathways grant, about $300,000, and we created 2 academies at our high school. One was a manufacturing academy, which does have a lot of technological elements to it. But the other one was the IT academy. And with the IT academy, students are taking apart computers, putting them back together. They're building drones and these rovers that operate through GPS. So they have to program them, code them to operate them. And they're also serving at the high school as the GEEK squad. So they'll go into classrooms, troubleshoot problems with computers, they'll go into the computer labs. One of the greatest things that we did that has moved our technology forward in the district is sending lots of teachers to the CUE conference. There's nothing like a group of teachers who come back from the CUE conference all fired up about some new app or some great website or some device that they learned about from some expert at CUE. And that just pumps up the volume 100%. And so we will continue to send our teachers to the CUE conferences. This summer, we had more teachers at the CUE ROCKSTAR camp in CHICO than any other district. And we're probably a medium-sized district for Butte County. There's some of our CUE rock stars. They made up t-shirts and everything for themselves. That's how excited they are. This is called Techie Tuesday, and our Director of Curriculum Instructional Technology and our 2 instructional coaches collaborate to put these out every Tuesday. It goes out by email. It's also available on the website. It's just sort of one Google slide, and it creates a lot of cool ideas and little things for people to check out, things of interest, things maybe that have come up. People have asked questions about how do you do this, how do you do that. And it's just sort of laid out with a lot of information that people might be interested in trying. And that comes out every Tuesday, and it really infuses teachers throughout the district with great new ideas. We also have Technology Thursdays, and that's also run by our instructional coaches and our director. So on Thursdays from 3:30 to 4:30, trainings are held in our training room, the district training room, and teachers from all our 5 schools can come and learn about new websites and apps and so forth that they can put in action in their classrooms. We also started holding these CUE Fests on our early release Wednesdays. So we have an early release day every Wednesday. So from about 2 o'clock to a little bit after 3, we run 2 half-hour sessions. They're just short sessions, and the session is on one app or one website. And it's conducted by somebody that's really excited about it and has really used it a lot. Here's some examples. We see Plickr. Here's a couple of others, Instagrok and EduCreations. So teachers can come and just spend a half an hour of their time, or if they want to go to 2 sessions, they spend an hour of their time during paid time, released by their principal, to come to a central location to participate in the Q-Fest. We've also started Genius Hour and MAKERSPACEs at our schools. So Genius Hour is an hour a week or an hour a day, depending on how it's designed, where students get to pursue a project or a subject that they're really passionate about. And MAKERSPACEs, we just bought a 3D printer for the MAKERSPACE, but MAKERSPACE really provides a lot of tools and materials and technology and things for students, again, to pursue passion projects and just to build things and to make things and to create things. It was also really important for us to hold parent forums, to not only to let parents know what's going on and inform them, but also to get their support for the things that we're doing. And each school puts together a 10-minute presentation. So with 5 schools, we keep it to under an hour. And they do a 10-minute presentation with slides and video to show the parents the exciting things that their children are doing at the schools. Now you might be saying, what were your funding sources? And hopefully these are the same funding sources that most districts have. The LCAP has been great for us. We have a 74% unduplicated count, so we get significant dollars in the supplemental and concentration. We also used Microsoft voucher money. I mentioned the CTE Pathways Grant, the Common Core funding, E-rate for the Wi-Fi, professional development funding, and budget reserves that we had. When I got to the district, we had a $6 million budget reserve, and our total budget is only $20 million. And I also want to mention that over this 3-year period, we've given our employees a 17% compensation increase at the same time that we've brought all this technology into the district. Following the SAMR model, we really contend that while technology will never replace good teaching, technology allows us to do things that were inconceivable before. And we don't just want to use these devices and this technology to substitute or augment or modify tasks that we were doing in the past. We actually want to redefine what we're doing and do things that we were never able to do before with our students and our teachers. And finally, participation at the Future Ready Schools was a great decision for our district. We went to the summit in Sunnyvale and learned so much from people that we're now collaborating with from other districts around California, and particularly the Bay Area. So I highly recommend that you send a team, and remember the superintendent has to be part of that team, but send very critical people, movers and shakers in your district, to the Future Ready Schools Summit when it happens again this year. Thank you.